Chapter 5, Intent and Integrity. Marcus's breakthrough came on day 23. He was practicing Runethic, the policy tongue, trying to inscribe a simple permission rule on a training crystal. Only Marcus Chen may activate this light. The inscription kept failing. Every time he carved the runes mentally in protocol space, they'd glow briefly and then dissolve. "You're overthinking," Polly said from her usual perch, a floating cushion she'd conjured with casual mastery. RU isn't about forcing permissions. It's about declaring them in a way the protocol recognizes as legitimate. I'm declaring them. Look, Marcus gestured at his latest attempt, still glowing faintly on the crystal's surface. Polly squinted. You're declaring at the protocol. That's not the same as speaking with it. What's the difference? Intent versus coercion. She hopped down, tapping the crystal. Watch, she spoke a phrase in RU. Ruckelvan Marcus Chen, Ch.5 Lumines. Let Marcus Chen and only Marcus Chen command this light. The runes carved themselves into the crystal, smooth, elegant, permanent. And Marcus felt it, a new thread connecting him to the object. Authorization, permission, trust. See the difference? Polly asked. I didn't tell the protocol this is the rule. I asked if it would be acceptable to establish this rule, and the protocol agreed. Marcus stared at the glowing runes. So it's negotiation, not command. For you, yes, you're still an outsider. The protocol doesn't grant you unilateral rule-making authority. She grinned. But if you ask nicely and demonstrate legitimate intent, it'll work with me instead of against me. Now try again, but this time ask, don't demand. Marcus took a breath, centering himself. He thought back to his first handshake with the KO sphere, that moment of recognition. The protocol asking, what do you intend? He reached out to the crystal, speaking in RU. Ruckelvan Marcus Chen, Ch.5 Lumines. But this time he didn't just speak the words. He meant them. He imagined the permission rule as a request, a proposed contract between himself and the protocol. I would like this light to answer only to me. Is that acceptable? And the protocol answered. The runes carved themselves, not as quickly as when Polly did it, but steadily. Marcus felt the connection lock into place, a new thread of authorization woven into his existence. He activated the crystal with a pulse of KO, and it lit. Polly tried to activate it. Nothing. She tried harder, a surge of power that made the air shimmer. The crystal remained dark. Congratulations, Polly said, genuine pride in her voice. You just wrote your first enforceable security policy. Marcus stared at the glowing crystal in his hands. A week ago, he couldn't hold a light spell for 30 seconds. Now he'd bound one, made it his and his alone. This is powerful, terrifying, both incredible. Marcus looked up at her. This is better than any auth system I've ever built on Earth. No passwords to steal, no sessions to hijack, just cryptographically verified intent. Polly's expression went serious. It's also dangerous. RU is how tyrants lock down nations. How dictators bind armies to their will. Permission isn't neutral, Marcus, it's control. Then why teach me? Because the alternative is worse. She sat down beside him, wings folded primly. If you don't understand RU, someone else will use it on you. Every binding contract, every magical artifact, every enchanted door, they are all RU inscriptions. And if you can't read them, I'm vulnerable to anyone who can. Exactly, security through knowledge. The protocol is fair, but it's not nice. It enforces whatever rules get properly declared. So you need to learn to read the rules, question them, and, when necessary, rewrite them. Marcus thought about that. In his old life, he'd been a security engineer. His job was finding vulnerabilities and fixing them. But Aethermoor wasn't a code base he could patch. It was a living system enforced by swarm consensus. So RU is digital rights management, he said slowly. But for reality, Polly laughed. I don't know what digital rights management is, but if it means deciding who gets to do what, then sure. Marcus set the crystal down, its light still glowing softly. His light. His permission, his tiny corner of verified intent in a universe that questioned everything. Teach me more, he said. Polly's grin returned. Oh, we're just getting started. SCBE mapping. Marcus's RU inscription maps to the Runethic tongue's policy domain implemented in Sacred Tongue Tokenizer. Encode bytes with RU-specific bijective tokens, Sacred Tongues. Pi. The negotiation vs command distinction mirrors SCBE declarative trust model. Agents declare desired states rather than issuing imperative commands. The permission binding maps to canAccessVoxel in drone-core.ts, which uses Chladni pattern mathematics to determine authorization. The concept of security through knowledge reflects